Hola amigos, hola amigas, Dorian here from Electrolux. Welcome, bienvenido, croeso, assalamu alaikum, konnichiwa, and g'day mate. This one is for Colin, so g'day Colin, I hope you're okay. Thanks for being my subscriber, and hope you enjoy this video mate. So that's my very bad Australian accent. Once I'm there, if I'm in Australia, Colin, because I go every other year, after about 4 or 5 days I start falling into sort of like naturally into words and phrases and things, or if the other half's mother or sister are over, then I can kind of like, because I hear it on a daily basis, I can pick it up really well, but just off the bat, nah, sounds absolutely terrible. So Colin, I do apologise for the really bad pommy Australian accent. I am very sorry about that, mate. So, let's crack on. I'm carrying on now with this Turbo Power. Sorry, Turbo Power. I got Turbo on the brain. Turbo 2. I have washed it and cleaned it. So it is sparkling clean, all the parts of it. It does need a bit of a polish, which I will do to make it nice and shiny again and put some of that mother's plastic polish on the bumper. But the parts that I have cleaned have come up looking really good. It's going to look really good when it's finished. Now, I've had a number of people offer me advice on this motor, including Steve and some other people just now, recent actually. And I've oiled the bearing, if you can see, I've oiled the bearing at the top of the motor, and I put the long part of this down deep into the motor as far as I could see, to see if I could see sort of like the bottom bearing, and give it a little squirt, just a little squirt, just to see if that would make any difference. But as it comes to sort of like having to strip the motor, it's very difficult. This motor is not one for being stripped easily. It's really hard to sort of like drill a hole through that, because it's like a solid bolt, because it's been pressed onto it. It would really damage the fan on it. So it's a bit of a dilemma, to be honest. I'm at a bit of my wit's end with this. So I've oiled it as best I can, and I hope that it will do it some good. If I take off the there's a bit of hair. If I take off this, I'm afraid I might damage because the copper wiring on the inside of this is connected directly to these on either side. So I would either have to resolder them to put them back on, and the same goes for the carbon brushes as well. They would also have to be soldered on to make the connection. They did not make this easy to repair or change brushes at all. It's not like a Hoover to motor where you can strip it apart and clean it all out. This is not a very good motor to work on. I have no idea. So anyway, it's been like that now since yesterday, and everything else is nice and clean. What I'm going to be doing now is to assemble the motor and put it back into the housing and reassemble the bottom part of it and get that all done and dusted. So that's what I want to work on now. That's what I want to get sorted. So what I'm going to do is just get the motor back together with its cover and its lovely clean rubber seal. The hose came up a treat, and it is a lot more flexible than what it was before we started, so that worked really well in cleaning that up. So what I'm going to do, where is it? There we go. Got the motor covers. So I've got the tape. Where did I just put that? Excuse me. I got the tape here to put around this and seal it all back into position. So once I've done that, I'll come back to you. So I've put the motor and some of the other parts back inside this. The seal is now fastened. The wheels, the height adjustment thingy there, that's back in place. So that's all I have to do now, is to screw these screws back in to hold it. Right, so that's the motor housing put on. I'm going to check these because some of these will need doing up manually. Right, so far so good. Now, next I'm going to pop this on. So this has markings on the side for where it fits in. I'm wondering if I will just be able to push it in to place. No, I'll tell you what, I don't want to force it. Come back out. I'm going to put a little bit of grease around it, so it'll give a better seal and also fit in better, or easier I should say. So, oops. There we go, see, that's fitted in really well. Perfect. And I can look inside there, and that fits really well. Excellent. Now I can put this cover on. And the 2 screws. Okay, so that's holding that on nice and tight. Now I've got to put this on. That fits on. Oh yeah, that's right, because it'll fit on. I'll hold that in. Like that. It's a bit awkward to see. So we got these little bolts that clip on. I'll tell you what I'll do. I think I'll try it this way. Might be easier. Then pop them in. Pop the 2 metal caps on. Okay, I've done it, but I did it just slightly wrong. There's nothing for that to hold on to. Yeah, okay. Okie dokie, I can see it now. I can do up this one, it's not a problem. I'm going to undo this one and fit it back in properly. There we go. That fits perfect. The thing I need to do now is to put the screws back in to keep this up. The springs, sorry. Not the screws, the springs. Didn't know what I've done it wrong. Oh, dough. I watched this replay of what I did about 3 times. And I've still got it the wrong way around. What am I like? Right. Right, that's it. And then that goes over that inside. These are nice and simple to work on. I'm just not used to it. This is the first one I'm probably doing, so. So, it's best if I slide it out to the side and clip it in. Oh, this is good. Almost, there we go. And again, into the little groove. Onto there. Onto there. Out. And clipped in. Right, let's just try it. Excellent. Perfect. Now, this looks lovely and clean now, I have to say, and all the seals and everything look really good. Now, before I do that, I have the brush roll, which has been oiled, cleaned. Very, very good. The bearings on it were fine, they just needed greasing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a belt, so just bear with me while I get it. So I've got the belt. I'm going to put the brush roll on now. And then slide the entire thing in, which is easier said than done. Sometimes putting on a belt is a fight. There we go, one side. Two sides, there we go. Nice tight brush. Nice clean brush roll, nice tight belt. Next, I need a clip to put this on. So, if I just start the tie on a bit, get this on. Actually, again, I'm going to put a little bit of grease on the outside just so it slides on easy. Slide that on nice and tight. Actually, I think I'll do this first. In properly. There we go. Yep, okay. Side. Put the two big screws in there. Yep, sealed in nicely. So I've oiled these wheels. I just need to put a little bit onto these. Okay, excellent. So there we go. So that is the bottom all done. Fantastic. Really, really pleased with that. That's come up really well. I will give it a polish. You can't really see. There we go. So I will give this a good polish, but it's definitely looking a lot better now. And the yellowing is all over. It matches all over it. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to concentrate now on the cable. I'm going to finish just cleaning off the top, giving it another wipe over in all its grooves, and a quick wipe on the inside. So I'll be back in a second. So I'm just taking a cloth and the sharp needly thing, pointer, and I'm going in all of these grooves on the exit fan. to clean them up. It's a little detail, but it does actually make quite a big difference. So this is the last strip down video that I'm going to be doing till I come back, because of course I'm going away on Saturday, so I got stuff to do, stuff to prepare, suitcases to bring in, stuff to start packing, washing, drying, making sure there's no big mess for when I come home. So I hate that when you go on holiday and you come back and it's a mess. So I like to have it all nice and tidy before I go, so the day we come home we can just chillax. My mum and dad are coming up to stay here, and of course we've got family not too far away as well, so they're all coming up. So even though we're not going to be here, it's going to be a house full of people, which is good. Unfortunately my dad can't leave the house much. He'll be okay to travel up here, but that will be it. So the doggies and the cats will all be looked after and spoilt. I'm sure Nanny will spoil and terrible when I'm away, or while we're both away. But I think that's the whole point of my mother, because she's not going to have any grandchildren for myself or my sister. So she's got the dogs. My sister's got a dog, and we got our 3. So she's a nanny to all of them. I hate the whitening, the light thing on this. It does my head in. Let me see if I can make it stay like that. There we go. So it's all nice and clean. What I got to do now is, oh sugar, there goes me cutting polish, is to sort out the wiring. So I'm going to get the cable for it, and we shall open this up and we shall have a look at the inside. Oh, I'll tell you what, there's one thing I need to do is put this cover back on. Screw this in manually. I mean, it's not in very good condition because it's all faded and there's quite a lot of scratch marks and everything on it, but it's definitely an improvement to what it was. And I'll give it a quick going over with the cutting polish and the polishing machine, and it'll bring back an old shine to it. But these work so well. That's just the thing about these. These Electroluxes work really, really well. As long as they're looked after a bit, they will always do a good job. Right, let me get the cable and we'll start unwiring. Okay, so I just gave this grey cable a bit of a going over, so it's nice and clean. Lovely bit of scrap. Right, now this, how can we do this so that you can see it? Let me lift you up higher and higher. Hang on a sec. What is that, like that? Dooby-dooby-dooby-dooby-dooby-dooby-doo. Ta-da! Right, okay. So that's what it looks like. And as you can see, the inside's lovely and clean. So I can put this sponge back in. It was pretty clean, but I did just give it another little wipe over. So there we go. That's a little filter at the bottom. So, this is a royal pain in the bottom. Let's have a look. So what I'm going to do is do it this way. There we go. take off these 2 screws. And from what I remember, this should just pop out. Yes, it does. Oh, I remember this from last time. This is a bit of a bugger to get out. I remember this now, I remember. It was a right royal pain. Instead of having 3 screws, they've got like it's like a popper thing. It pushes through, so the plastic pushes through that, like a pop, and it pushes in. I'm not very explaining myself very well, am I? There's a sponge covering that, which is completely disintegrated. God knows where that's gone. I'm just going to try and lift this up, pop it off. Hang on a second, let me pop you on pause. Yeah, okay, I did. It wasn't as difficult as I thought. I was just doing it wrong. It actually kind of like clips in underneath these little pegs rather than that. Anyway, it doesn't matter, it's off. Right, so inside here, as you can see, we've got the gubbins, the brain of it all. This is where the wire comes in. What I'm going to do is give it a dust, because there is bits of that sponge dust stuck inside it. Excellent. So hang on a second, let me just change this clean bit. So I'm just going to finish off cleaning the inside of this area. Excellent. So I need to remove this old cord, which is held on by one retaining clip here. Magnetic, thankfully. Okay, undo these screws. And now I can pull that last bit of wire out through the grommet. And what I'll do is measure this compared to the new wire to know how much I have to cut off. So that is pretty important. So I don't have to cut off that much actually. Just double check. Yep, that's the same length as that now. Before I put the wires through the grommet and put the wire on, there's a little O-clip holding the little block in place. And what I got to do is remove that so I can get the block out so that I can get the wires on very easily. Because otherwise it's going to be a blooming nightmare. So I need to take off that clip with my little hook. which is why these little hook things are really handy sometimes. God, you know, getting these off are a fuss. I don't want to flick it in the air and lose it either. Ow, sharp. Just wiggling it up. This is now. I don't want to get too close because this it's going to stab me. Like, ka-chung! Oh, come on, you stupid thing. There. And it flicked a million miles away. Never mind. Never mind. So I'm going to put the nice new grey wire through the rubber grommet. Actually, I'm going to cut those ends off because they are naff. Push it through. And use the hook to pull them up. And then keep feeding it through. Okay, now I'm just going to trim the ends of these a little slightly. Excellent. Give them a little twist. Put them into this. Make sure that you put it in the right way. Blue to blue. Brown to brown. Tighten it up. To the block. I can't see a suppressor. So, oh no, tell you what, I did see a suppressor. The suppressor was on the motor. I did see a suppressor. I did see a suppressor. Another pretty cat. But you have to make sure that there's enough wire that it will fit on there, which is like the spike, and then also go through to hold it in place with the clamp. Excellent. So now I'm going to take my clamp. To be honest, I'm not fussed that that little O-ring has come off. It's not going to cause any issues. Make sure that is clamping the wire. If it tugs, this is what's holding it on. While you're screwing this whole bottom, because you don't want to put too much pressure on these, because they will snap. Excellent, so there we go. That gets held into place there. And this can go back on. Two screws at the top. It's not catching, hang on. There we go. Excellent. So we got the wire now in through the grommet. So we got a lovely now grey wire on it. Just wrap it around it for now to keep it out of the way. I put the plug on. Oh, come on, jeepers creepers. Excelente. Now I'm going to go and put a plug on. I found a nice old plug. Let me do that again. Reduce you down. Ooh, there we go. I found a nice... Oh no, that's too dark. Hang on. Oh, bloody thing. Right. Lower you down. Okay, I found a nice new old plug. Well, it's not new, but it's a nice old plug anyway. It is a Volex plug, which is quite nice. Looks very 80s. So I'm going to put that in. Yeah, so going back up to talking about Australia, Colin, hello. I'm going back out in September next year. That's when we're going back out to Melbourne. But we've been to Tasmania in one trip, and the others we've just stayed in Melbourne. We've gone out of state. We've gone up to we've gone into New South Wales, to Wodonga, because that's where the other half used to work, and had a couple of houses there he sold when he moved to the UK, because he only moved on assignment. He used to work for the company was the research was based in Japan, so he worked for the Japan sector in Wodonga in the research, and came over for oh my god, I haven't been to America. I'm only going in 5 days and I'm already talking like it. And he was only here on assignment and met me and decided to stay, and then sold the houses in Australia, and voila, the rest, as they say, is histoire. History. Okay, I'm just securing this plug on. So yes, we're going to Australia again next September to see the family, and we haven't actually planned anything that we're going to do yet, because I really want to go to Sydney. Oh no, I've been to Brisbane. Tell a lie, I have been to Brisbane. The first time we went to Australia, we visited friends in Brisbane for a weekend. I remember now. Yes, so I've been to Brisbane, but I haven't been to Sydney. And the other half has got a cousin in Sydney, so it'd be nice to go and see him. Let's go and see Matthew. I don't know if he's watching this. Hello, Matthew. If you ever see this, I will get to meet you one day. I've met your mum, and we're going to meet your mum again. We're going over to see her and your dad and your sister. So it'd be nice to actually meet them, and hopefully we will be in Sydney to meet you. And I'm not sure where Colin lives, so Colin, you'll have to tell me where you live, so that find out where you live, so that we can meet, which would be nice. It's nice to meet fellow collectors around the world. So I'm gutted actually that there's no collectors in Buffalo, otherwise we would have popped in and said hello. Okay, so there we go. So that is the wire on. I need to test this now. This is scary. Make sure it's off. Yes, the button is off. This is the big test to see if my greasing of the motor worked. Okay. Now this is a bit like Ibasiac. This is, I am very apprehensive about switching this on. Oh my gosh! Listen to that! Oh wow, that sounds amazing! Oh, that worked. I am so happy that worked. I feel really confident now on doing the other Electroluxes, the 500 series and the other Turbo 2 as well, because that needs the motor doing as well. So Thank you so much to Steve and to Alex and to Sam and everybody else that helped me with comments on this, with the motor. There's some other people that gave me some suggestions if it didn't work and it meant drilling into the motor, and oh, it would just have been such an arseache to try and sort it out that way. So I'm really glad that that worked. It sounds amazing. It sounds like new, and there's a lot. I mean, there's no bag in there, of course, but there's a lot of airflow going through. So, thank you very much for helping me with that. Thank you. Sounds amazing. It doesn't look amazing because it's a bit yellowed, but it definitely sounds fantastic now. Right, let's crack on, shall we, with the polishing? Because there wasn't going to be much point in polishing it if it wasn't working. So I've got me pad, put the battery on. I need to get the cutting polish because it fell. So one of the final touches that I have to do for Terry is to give him a polish with, again, with some of my V36 cutting polish. I'm slightly going to dampen. I've been using this pad before, so there's still quite compound on there. It's quite a thick pad, so it should work. So again, what I'm going to do to save you having to watch me do this, I'm going to do it on fast forward. Just make sure that's unplugged. Now I don't know if you can see, if I wind it, you can see there's a big difference between it here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put you on fast forward and just give it a polish. So I have now polished all of that, and I have to say it's looking good. You can see a little bit there. It's still got all its residue all over it. So what I need to do again is to get my Demon Shine and just mist the entire thing, and then I'm going to get some nice fluffy cloths. These are the nice ones that I use for my car, because all the other ones are in the wash, the little white ones. And I'm going to wipe the whole thing over to remove the residue of the cutting compound, which will do two things: remove the residue and then also then add the shine to it, because I've used some of the Demon Shine, which is like a wax. You can start seeing the reflection already, look. This definitely looks so much better. And I think that Andy will be very proud of me for restoring this. Bringing it back to its former glory-ish. A little bit yellow round the tooth, but definitely back to its former glory. So I'm going to lay it down flat so I can remove the residue of the main part of it. Turn it round. Wow. Terry the Turbo 2 is looking a lot better, I have to say. A heck of a lot better. Really shiny. Don't know if you can see. So you can see the faded, but you can see the shine on it now. And because, in the words of L'Oreal, Terry is worth it, we will give him a coat of lovely, lovely, lovely wax, which will protect him even more. Can't wait to give this a go. It's going to work really well, I think. Now I'm itching to have a go at the other Electroluxes to get all of their motors up and running and lubricated, because I really, really do like these for reasons I explained in the other video. Right. I remember when my mum bought her Turbo 2, they bought it from Argos. Right, they bought it in the January sale because of the exploding what was it? The exploding 160? 170? Yeah, the exploding 170 with the pine needles. Anyway, I've told that story enough times. Boring! Let me get a little pad. And I think we will use... I'm going to use some of this Ultra Glaze because it's like an orange in colour. Whereas I think the purple one, if it got in any grooves, it would really stand out. Dollop plenty on. Close it up. Make sure the cloth is saturated. Okay. Oops. So I'm just going to start putting a coat of wax on this. Oh yeah, somebody put a comment on as well about that little bit of metal, which was for this. It was because I realised last night when it came out, after I was filming, because I went to take these to the kitchen to clean them, and this fell out, and then I happened to notice then, right, okay, that's where that came from. But somebody put a comment on, which is fantastic, because, you know, you don't know if I had known it or not, and then that would have, you know, helped me a lot. So I really appreciate all your comments. Bloody hell. A little bit more. Apply it to the body. So yeah, while I'm doing this, Australia, g'day. No, not Australia. Australia. G'day, Australia. So we're going over next year. My father-in-law has got me a vintage Australian Constellation. So it's different in colour. It's like all gold. So that'll be fun to do a video on there. I'll do a little kind of like mini repair on it and testing. Well, actually they have tested it, so I just need to I'll take a bag over with me and give it a go. Right, okay, so I've applied this coat of lovely wax, this Ultra Glaze wax. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give it 10 minutes to soak in, and then we're going to finish it off, put a bag in. It won't be a paper bag, it will be a microfiber bag for this. I do have paper bags for it, but I'm going to use a mod fleecy bag. Right, okay, let's give it 10 minutes and we'll give it a rub off. Okay, let me adjust that. Hang on a second, I should have done it before I started. Never mind. Right, okay. This is how you make a SIBO bag fit into one of these. They are amazing. It is so easy to do. First of all, what I've done to replace the sponge missing off the top is taken one of my spongy pad things that I use for polishing, and pop that over. So I've cut it like that. Pop that over the ring and push it down to make a nice seal. Then you take the top, the cardboard top of the bag, the original paper bag, and I've got a Sebo X series bag here for it. And what you do is just push or pull the Sebo bag through it with all its flaps and corners. Pull it through gently, so you've got the bag like that. You want to try and get as much of the bag in as you can. Excellent. So I'm going to put one of my air fresheners down inside to make it smell nice. So I've put it on like that, in that position, as you can see, and slide it down, clip the cardboard piece in like so, and then just make sure that's through, push it down, it's caused a nice seal, and then turn it on. Oh, and then put the power on. Haha. Done. If you like using these vacuums and you want to use it as an everyday, you can. It's really not difficult at all to modify them so they work better than the original. But you know, there's people out there who just like to use the paper bag, and that's absolutely fine. So I've taken 2 more cloths, and what I'm going to do now is just wipe the wax off. Wax on, wax off. It's looking good, looking good, looking good. Thin wheels, darling. Thin wheels. Sweetie. Put it down. Look at the shine on that now. Look at the shine. It's got a reflection. So let me put it down. And wipe the wax off this. Terry looks like a new vacuum cleaner. I have an Uncle Terry. So we're all modernised with a lovely new Sebo bag inside it. So all we need to do now is to give it a test on the floor. So there we go. Done. Polished, waxed. That's it. Now it's off the post-mortem table. It's gone through its plastic surgery. Motor's sounding fantastic. So I'm going to put this down onto medium, and what we're going to do is get it on the floor and we'll give it a go. So he's now on the floor. Let's switch him on and see how it goes. Wow, even by modern standards, right, that is really good. If you were to go out and buy one of them, if they were selling them in Argos right now, you would not be disappointed. That was really good. So much good. It really needed a bit of a service, and that's all it needed. You can hear the growl on it. The motor is lovely and quiet now. There's a lot of suction on it with using the microfiber fleecy bags. It'll stay cleaner. The motor won't get so dirty. It'll just, in general, it's really modernized. You could literally go out and buy one of them right now, use it, and you would not be disappointed. You can hear, even though it doesn't have the beta bar on it, you can hear it growling on the carpet as it's spinning around and beating as well, with, you know, as best it can. If it had the beta bar on it, it would definitely do a really good job. I'm not sure if this other one has a beta bar. Let me just have a quick look while I'm behind you. No, this one has 2 sets of brushes as well. Let's see if I can get some beta bars or something on eBay. I'll have a little look, because it'd work even better that way. We're beating out the grit from the carpet, similar to the old Hoovers. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to get some mess on the floor, some of my Mad About mess. Here we are, Steve, Mad About mess. I haven't done a mess test for a while, about 4 days. So let me get some of this down, and we will do a pass back and forth and see if it leaves any lines of embarrassment. There we go. I've lowered the tripod slightly, and you can see all the bits on the floor. I'm going to give it a pass back and forth, and we'll see how it does. Amazing. Absolutely no line of embarrassment. It has picked up everything through the middle on one pass back and forth. I genuinely can't see anything. There's nothing at all. It's just picked it all up. Wow. Come up higher. Straight through, picked it up, not a problem. Right, okay, let's carry on using this and see how it goes. So there we go, my vac fans. That is Terry, the Turbo 2, the Electrolux Turbo 2, all cleaned up and raring to go, with a lovely new 8-meter cable on him, in grey matching, and looking a heck of a lot shinier with a new a refurbished motor. Sorry, that's just that bit of oil and the grease has now made the motor sound like it's new again. Very good pickup on it. The new the SIBO bag in there will definitely help with filtration. I could actually, you know, you could really feel the air blowing out through it, so it's got a lot of suction going through it, which makes it really work really well. It's very good, very impressive. So there we go, that's it, done and dusted. This is the 4th one that was in my series of the Gables, from what I picked up from Andy a couple of weeks ago. There are 2 left that I picked up from him, which is a Kirby Heritage, the blue one, and a Constellation. Now, the Constellations, there are 2 that I have. I'm going to have to do them in the new year because they're going to be needing respraying, and it's just too cold to be doing respraying in the garage. I can't be doing it. I've got a number of other refurbs and stuff that I'm going to be doing, but I'm going to wait until the spring to do the Kirby, which will need all the machine polishing and everything, and the Connies, the Constellations, because one is going to be restored to its original way it is, and the other one is going to be sort of like retroed with a kind of, still with a pink theme, but with a lot more sort of like Barbie pink. It's going to be very pink. So I'm going to have a nice original one, and then I'm going to funk up one as well and make it really funny. So that's coming up next year. So this is going to be the last refurbishment video that I have for before I go away. I'll be doing some different videos when I'm away on washing machines and the other American appliances that they have in the house. I'll do a couple of videos of them. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I'll still be able to do that video of trying the American vacuum cleaners, and yeah, I'm looking forward to that a lot. Also, as well, while we're there, we're going to be picking up a number of dollar store items for Tom and myself to do reviews on in January. So we got not a Poundland review this time, we got a dollar store review coming up, which will be a lot of fun. Other half and the 2 ladies that we're going to stay with, they are going to be picking the presents for myself and for Tom to try. So I hope they pick some nice beauties, some American stuff. And yeah, I'm just waffling now. So thank you very much to Andy and to everybody, to Australia, g'day mate. And everybody that watches across wherever, thank you so much. I really appreciate all your support and your comments. No question is a silly question, Dale. You ask anything you want, and that goes for anybody. Ask any questions you want about anything to do with the vacuums or the videos. So please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification so I can you'll be updated of when I do another video. And I will see you all very soon, because I have to go back to the Junior 1334. Ooh, that'll be tomorrow, or maybe Wednesday. Who knows? Anyway, see you guys soon. Bye.